So, why has nobody heard of this movie? Well, it might have something to do with the fact that nobody can pronounce the director's name. Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi-Night. I'm your host, Sebastian Vendel Martinez, and this is the show where we check out some of the lesser-known sci-fi and horror movies out there and let you know what to expect from them. So, in tonight's episode, we're checking out the coolest sci-fi-based mind film since Inception. The 2012 sci-fi film Extracted is both written and directed by Nir Paneri, okay, whatever. For the sake of a review, I'm going to call him Paneri. The film doesn't really feature any major stars, but you might recognize the main actor Sacha Royce from The Day After Tomorrow. But chances are you won't.
You don't think my voice has flair?
No.
In the film, Royce plays a scientist who has developed a machine that allows you to both see and enter people's memories.
Your memory is ready, Tom.
Let's go.
And basically experience it the way they remember it. Kind of like Inception, but different. To get funding for this project, the Department of Corrections gives the scientist a convict accused of murder and promises to fund the project if the scientist can prove the man's guilt.
You see, the idea is you go into the memories of an accused man, see if he did the crime or not.
Because, yeah, these seem like super reliable people.
It's a wild ride up there.
However, while inside the convict's memories, something goes wrong, trapping the scientist in the mind of the accused criminal.
Tom, can you hear me? Tom, can you hear me?
Who demands that the scientist proves his innocence before helping him get out to the real world.
So Tom, I feel I've been more than accommodating, wouldn't you agree? I have something I want from you. I want to find out what happened the night of the murder.
So basically this is kind of like Inception meets The Cell, in that you've got a crime mystery mixed with some flashy sci-fi technology, and it all blends together pretty well. This is a very interesting film that introduces some super cool concepts.
He's seeing me right now, isn't he? He was thinking about that memory. He was thinking about the memory at the same time that I was in it.
For example, if the person whose memories you're in can't recall the exact specifics of a place, such as paintings on the wall, the program fills it in with placeholders. Also, this begs the question of how much of our memories actually are real.
You tell a kid something enough times, he'll believe it.
Now, this dog was misbehaving. Anthony saw it, I saw it.
Anthony didn't see shit. Rex was a great dog.
Just because I have a memory of something doesn't make it true. That memory can be shaped afterwards by people manipulating you, making you change your perception of something, and thus how you remember it. So yeah, I told you this smart shit was pretty interesting, right? The film is well written and the dialogue is pretty good as well.
I'm a lot of horrible things, but I'm no killer. Why start with her?
I don't know, she broke up with you, you were on a bender, so maybe in your fucked up state you got angry and you let her have it.
What do you mean, maybe? I thought you could see everything
I
in
can
there.
see actions, not emotions.
Then all you're seeing is a fucking picture book.
There aren't really any big action scenes, so if you're Michael Bay, then you might as well fuck off because there are 0 explosions in this.
What the hell?
No, instead the entertainment comes from well-written dialogue, good acting, and an interesting plot. One thing that pisses me off though is the criminally low IMDb rating. As of right now, it's on 6.5. It was lower before I saw the film, and that's a score that's even worse than the dreary mess that was Batman v Superman. Unfortunately, this film didn't really get a whole lot of funding, which is a little noticeable.
You are not going to get the kind of money you want unless you're willing to compromise a little bit.
But at the same time, you can really tell they did the most and best that they could with the money they had, which really goes a long way for me personally. Let me put it this way, Extracted only got a budget of $100,000. Compare that to, say, Transformers 2, which was a $200 million movie, and that Michael Bay film is a piece of shit. So obviously, you can't expect the production value or flashy action scenes of a film like Inception, but you can expect some very interesting sci-fi ideas that basically lay the groundwork for the film itself. Now, this isn't to say that Extracted is a flawless film, because, well, obviously it isn't.
Well, your objection is noted.
While the acting is mostly good, there are times where it feels a little bit flat. Also, the production could have done with a slightly higher budget, as there are some set pieces that look better than others. In addition, this is obviously a film that requires your attention, because if you start fiddling with Twitter while you're watching this, then you may very well find yourself just as lost in the plot as our main character is in the criminal's mind. Some people didn't really understand the ending, but if you pay attention and quit dicking around with your smartphone, I'm pretty sure you'll get it. So, what should you expect from this movie? Inception meets The Cell. So, if you like films like the two I just mentioned, or other cool movies like The 13th Floor and Cube, then chances are you'll dig this. Take the concept of changing one's thoughts by affecting their dreams from Inception, add the unconventional crime solving from The Cell, and you've got yourself a movie that's actually better than The Cell. You've got Extracted.
Minnie, locate memories with the following descriptions. Adrian, murder, break-in.
Locating.
Amazing potential. So before this, writer-director Nir Paneri had only made 3 short films, and with the small budget that his first feature had, this is flat out amazing when it comes to results. Sure, it wasn't perfect, it could have done with just a little bit more polish and tension, but the overall product is just so surprisingly well crafted that you'd think someone more experienced handled this picture. This is a great first film from Paneri, and I'm eagerly awaiting his next.
If the person has been brainwashed and they have a latent memory of that brainwashing taking place, so hypnosis, called programming, I don't know, bad people drilling things into your head, the machine cross-checks for those moments first, and if it doesn't find them, then memory's real.
Super underrated sci-fi. Alright, I'm not the only one saying this. Look up any review of this film on IMDb. Everyone keeps claiming that this deserves an 8 or better, and I can't do anything but agree with them. The fact that this film has flown so low under the radar is just fucking absurd. It's like Donald Trump running for president. It's not silly and funny anymore, it's just absurd and scary. This is such a shame because it's one of the best sci-fi films of 2012. The same year that featured Chronicle, Prometheus, Looper, Dread, The Lockout, the Total Recall remake, Men in Black 3, and yes, this film was actually on the same level as some of those in terms of quality, and actually better than some as well. I'm looking at you, Total Recall remake. So it goes without saying that this is a film that sci-fi fans should check out, but even people who just like interesting crime stories should also give it a go. Like, if you like the movie Fallen that we reviewed, which you can view by clicking, let's say, the Sci-Fi-Night logo on my chest. Yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, if you like movies like that, then you should definitely check this out, and don't worry, you don't have to have a hard-on for the Star Trek Enterprise in order to enjoy this. So since I've been comparing this movie to other good films, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep on doing it. If you like films like Solaris, Moon, Ex Machina, then there's a very good chance you'll like this. It's a more scaled down and idea-based sci-fi, but very far from boring. Extracted really deserved more attention and cred than it's gotten so far, and hopefully those of you watching this will do yourselves and the movie a favor and check it out.
Please! God damn it!
Really, I don't have much more to say about this film. It's a pleasant, well-made surprise and a nice fresh breeze. It could pack a little bit more oomph. It lacks some of that finishing punch that a film with a bigger budget and production otherwise would have. But to be honest, this film doesn't really need those aspects to be good. All it needs is the story and direction that Paneri gave it. So that about does it for this episode of Sci-Fi-Night. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think of the movie Extracted in the comments below, where you can also let us know what you think of this episode and give us ideas for future movies to bring up as well. I'm your host, Sebastian Mendel Martinez, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Memory triggers. Mnemonics. They teach you these in grade school. You have a 7-course meal, you don't remember any of it, but if I tell you you had steak, that might trigger you to remember you had potatoes, and the memory unravels, doors start to open. All it takes is this tiny little trigger.